Distinguished adventurers, welcome to another Monday. Welcome to another weekly patronage. Welcome to another year's end festival day. You should go pick up your stuff, because you should always pick up your stuff. Keep your house clean, pick up your stuff. Hi, I'm Lauren. I am here to hang out with you, answer some questions, chat about the game, chat about all the fun stuff that's been going on over the last couple of days, and get some patron challenges done in the meanwhile, because, you know, might as well get some of our chores done while we're picking up around the house. There, I just said it. Hello, chat. Good morning, afternoon, evening, good night, good time zone, whatever we're saying. I hope you had a lovely weekend. Let me know how things are going. Also, while you are picking things up and checking in, definitely say hi to our awesome moderators, Martin and Mars, who, as always, are in chat, grabbing questions and answering questions and fielding questions and doing question things, amongst a bunch of other funness. Definitely say hi to them, and if you do have a question that you would like one of them to pass along to me, put question in big capital letters at the front of your question, because that will let them know, hey, this is a thing I want you to pass along to Lauren. Because while I like to keep an eye on the chat, every once in a while, I'm going to be checking out this game and doing things in the game, and I might miss chat, because you move fast. You chat fast, chat. I'm always impressed with you. And hi, everybody. So yes, it's good to see you. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. And double, Shellhun 6023, double the oboe today. What other oboists are you watching? Tell me. I am interested, because I think this is the only thing I'm doing today. But hey, if you know of any other oboists that are into TTRPGs that play Idle Champions, or, you know, are just doing fun D&D things, let me know. Meanwhile, I will go ahead and claim today's year-end festival reward chest. Now, if you haven't had a chance to do that, now is the time. I already got my Ashara. Yeah. That skin for Ashara is super cool. All right, let's claim this. Nice. All kinds of fun stuff, especially Scroll of Assaults. I'm going to be starting up another Trials run this afternoon, actually. So having some stuff for Trials is probably a good thing. Yeah, there we go. So, because I haven't actually started a Trials of Mount Tiamat party yet, I've actually got all 3 parties for today, which is appropriate as today is the final weekly patronage before the end of the year. That's right. We're not on next week, and then we go on break. Now, why am I not on next week? Because I will be on a plane. I'm going to PAX Unplugged this weekend. That's right. If you're going to be at PAX Unplugged, tell me, say hi. If not, I hope you have a lovely weekend. I'm going to be doing my best to be as safe as possible, but I am going to PAX Unplugged, and so yeah. When I would normally be doing this show next week, I will be on a plane coming on home thinking about all the patron challenges that I'm not able to take care of. But we'll be back in the new year. So, I'm trusting all of you to do your patron challenges while I'm gone. All right, kids, I'm going to leave you a little bit of money on the counter so you can order some pizza. Make sure you do all of your chores. When I get back, I want to see all sorts of awesome perks that have been bought and taken care of. Okay? And hey, if you get into trouble, you can always go to Uncle Mars. Let Uncle Garwar know, and they'll be able to help, but you should be fine. Okay. Yeah, I mean, conventions are one of those things that I'm feeling nervous and excited, and then also going to be careful about everything. So I think everyone's got to make decisions for themselves about their own comfort levels, but I think the important thing just in general is get yourself vaccinated, get yourself masked, try to be safe, and, say hi from 6 feet away. Anyway, let's see if we've got some questions in chat before I dive into patron challenge number 1. Lurking Writer wants to know, how are you doing today? I'm doing pretty good. I am in a weird post-performance almost funk, I guess. I was lucky. I had an oboe gig on Saturday, and I had D4 on Sunday, and it was my last oboe gig of the year, and it'd been the first one for a while that I'd had in a very long time. And last night's D4 was the finale for the season, which is, they go by years. So I don't have another episode of D4 for another couple of weeks, and I don't have another oboe gig for a while. So while this weekend was awesome, and I'm kind of both happy and grateful to have had awesome D&D and oboe this weekend, I'm not going to have either of those for a while, and it makes me a little sad. But I have all of you, and I have my entire Heroes of the Plains crew here in my formation, because tomorrow is the finale of Heroes of the Plains. Like, this is a week of lasts for me. Yeah. Ooh. So I'm happy to hang out with all of you because, this is a nice, relaxing time. Let's see. Doorbell Streams. Question. We already know which patron chat likes. Well, which patron is your favorite? Ooh. All right. Well, I got 2 different answers to that. The patron that I'm currently working the most on is Zariel. That is the one that I need the most work to do. Everybody else, as far as perks, I'm still... So I guess I would say if I had to choose, I'm always kind of pegging the challenges for Zariel because I have the most to do. Strahd, I've still got a couple things to unlock, and Vajra and Mert, I'm basically done. And the perks are kind of important because they give you a lot of really good buffs. So as far as like my go-to, if I wasn't asking the wonderful people in chat to tell me what patron to go after, I'd go after Zariel. As far as who my favorite patron is as far as character, I'm gonna say Mert. Because, like, the idea, like, all these are really epic characters, and Vajra is super powerful and amazing, and Zariel had this wonderful character arc, and Strahd is Strahd. But Mert you can actually sit down in a bar with and have some drinks and sing some dirty songs and hear some amazing stories, and I think as a character, that's who I'd want to hang out with. So I'm going to say Mert. Jamek Unyielding question, will patrons always be linked to campaigns, or could you see a standalone patron occurring and maybe even a content creator patron? I have no clue. I don't know about a content creator patron. I mean, I'm never going to say no to anything, but I feel like the patrons have all been tied. You mentioned to campaigns. I think the patrons specifically will always be tied to something in the game. That's just my opinion. I'm not making any promises or talking about any spoilers or anything. I honestly don't know. But I think it makes sense in-game for the patrons to always be an in-game character. And we're lucky enough to have a lot of fun with the content creators making champions. So yeah, I think patrons make sense to be tied to the in-game lore. So yeah, I'm not against the idea. I mean, certainly when Omen became a champion, there was a lot of talk about how Omen could be a patron. Got a little bit of that with Averin too, but that was mostly just Averin being Averin. But both of them could have. But yeah, I think it's more fun to have them as champions. So, Sharky151, Auntie Lauren. The Piccolos are trying to sit in the strings section again. Oh, no. Well, if you tell those Piccolos to get back to where you once belonged, go back to with the rest of the flutes. You want to be back there with the woodwinds. You don't want to be up here with the strings anyway, because you're going to have to be turning pages for other string players, and you don't know how to turn string player pages. Like, that's a whole... You're used to your own music, so go back and do it with the woodwinds. Okay, before I dive into more questions, since we do have 3 full adventuring parties to fill up today, I'm just kind of hanging out in the Feywild, so we can end this. I need to know from chat, who's the first patron we're going after? Who's the first patron whose challenge we are going to attempt? Would a lovely moderator please start a poll in our chat to find out who we would like to attempt challenges first? First. Mert, Vajastrad, or Zariel. Let us see what the chat says. So go ahead and vote now. That poll is up because our mods are awesome. I will continue to try to answer questions that have come up from chat. Merrick, any advice for a newbie on how to complete variants that don't let you use your best champions? Also, welcome. Glad to have you. I got stuck at level 200 when trying to get to 225, and I couldn't figure out what else to do to get further. Fire-breathing potions? So yeah, welcome. It gets rough, right? Because that's the biggest challenge with a lot of these patrons is the reduction in the number of champions you can use, and often your go-tos are not available. And especially once you get to Strahd, where Strahd has the least number of champions that are eligible for his stuff. So it can get rough. If you're close and you want to try using a couple of potions, I think that's not a bad idea. If you're getting to 200 and you got to get to 225 and you think, I could drop a potion. Yeah, give it a try. Either fire breath potions, or maybe if you've got some giant strength potions, try with maybe one of the smaller ones since you don't have too far to go. Try moving around people in your formation. See if maybe because you're using champions that you're not as used to, there might be a positional thing that you could do, swap a couple people and bump up your bud just enough. Come to our Discord, discord.gg/idlechampions. I'll put it in the chat, where they can also help. They might have some suggestions of, hey, you've got this formation, it's pretty good, but why don't you swap out this character for this character? Why don't you move this around a little bit? Maybe they'll have some suggestions. And maybe there is a different champion that you can use. Maybe you've gone for a set, but there's a different champion who's eligible for that patron, who you can throw on in there and level up and then give that a try. Otherwise, I think if you've tried a couple of those things, I wouldn't go too deep down the I'm using potions rabbit hole. Like if you try a couple and you're not seeing a lot of headway, and you move a couple people around, couple champions around, it's not really working too well, don't be afraid to reset and start over, because this may be one of those times where you just don't have enough favor in that campaign to get far enough. Maybe you need to earn a little bit more favor. Try it again. you'll have earned the favor. You'll have earned patron currency. You'll have earned a lot of stuff from doing it, even if you don't complete it. So restart the adventure that you're currently on. Also take a look at those champions' gear. Is there a champion that you're using in this formation that is one that, say, you haven't used very often, and so maybe is a little lacking in the gear department? Maybe they've got a couple of blues instead of all purples. Maybe they just have a really low gear level. Maybe you can spend a little bit of time and open up a time gate, get yourself a little more gear for one of those champions, and give it another try. So yeah, there's a bunch of different options. I hope one of them helps. So if you're that close, I'd say start with moving some people around. Hey, it looks like Zariel has won the first poll. I hope I wasn't influencing the vote by saying, hey, I really need to do some Zariel stuff, but I appreciate it. Okay, before we go ahead and complete this and go take a look, let us do what we always do and check ahead of time what Zariel wants, because it makes life a little easier. Okay. Zariel wants to defeat some undead. No healing. Oh, no healers. Makos, Farida, and Talon. We're going to earn some stuff, kill some bosses, get some gems. Ariza as our total damage dealer. I believe she's a healing champion, so we might not be able to do that and this at the same time. Ultimates, fun stuff. Okay, let's get this all going first. And no healing might be a thing we come back to. Yeah. All right, undead. Let us... I just like hanging out in the Feywild. It's just fun. Let us go get ourselves a Zariel, and undead, let us go to the tomb. The Tomb of Annihilation. Tomb of the Nine Gods. Here we go. I like coming here because, obviously, lots of undead. Makes things easy. Okay, Orkira, I love you, but hang out for just a second. So we want Ariza as our damage dealer. Oh, she has DPS support. Might be able to do the no healers. We'll keep her stuff ablaze. Okay, and then, whoops. I don't want to do trials just yet. Wow. I'm just going to click on that twice. Let's hold off on this because I don't know if we're going to get Blanya in this formation. So let's hold off on that for just a second. Makos, Farida, and Talon. Oh, okay, so we're going to have Farida in here, which is going to make having Ariza as our top DPS difficult, but not impossible. Not impossible. Talon was the other one, I believe. Whoops. Hi, Whittle. How you doing? Let's get Talon in here. I don't think Talon... Yeah. All right, so actually, so far, I don't have any healers in here. I thought Ariza was, but I was wrong. Just okay. All right. Chat, are we doing it? Are we going to try to make a formation without any healers? Should we try? I mean... Oh... Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. No healers. Well, that definitely means... Well, and we can't have Blanya. All right, well, that makes sense. So we're going to do that. Yeah, oops, no heals. That's right, Kafina. Here we go. All right, so Celise would be good here. I'm not sure who our tank setup is going to be. You are a healer. Actually, you know what I should do before I start picking other people? Let's take a quick look at all of the other patrons and try to not pick champions that are going to be needed in the other patron challenges. Let's see what we can do. Strix, Paulton, and Morgaine are over here. Oh, wow. Strahd doesn't want any healers either. What's with the no healers? What do you got against clerics? What's going on? Wow. Such shade on clerics today, or healers in general. Vajra. You don't want any support champions. Strix, Brunner, Dritz, and Calliope. Okay. And Brunner, Dritz, and Calliope over here. Wow, Vajra and Mert fighting over Brunner, Dritz, and Calliope, and no DPS. Okay, this is gonna be, it's gonna be a day, folks. My last weekly patronage before the end of the year is gonna be a challenge. A bit of a challenge. Okay. Well, Wolfgar, how you doing? Because you're just tanking and support. Human could be good to have. Yeah, let's human it up. Yeah, nip, maybe. Yeah, this might end up being kind of a half speed. Briv, I'm pretty sure is healing. Yeah, Briv is... Everyone thinks Freely is the jack of all trades, but Briv really is the one that's just like, I'm gonna do all the things. Dost thou not do all the things? Sadly... Yeah, because Quillic and... Yeah. I could put Prudence in there, but if I'm trying to get Ariza as my top DPS, Prudence is, again, gonna make that hard. Alright, Baloth could be useful to have. Paulton we want other places. Yeah, let's think about Baloth. Nayeli can go in here, but I've got some other tank options. Ooh, Brig. Brig could be good. Alright, I love you, Akira, but I can't have any healers. I think that's gonna make this slot very difficult. Super difficult. Alright, Esmeralda. I think you might be going in. And, I mean, at least you'd be very useful here because you help with undead. I haven't used Esmeralda in a while, so I'm just kind of looking. Increase the damage. We're marking people. Okay, alright. I think we've got some ideas. I think you're healing. Yeah, you are. Alright, here we go. Let's start placing some people. Let's start making magic happen. We'll put Celise up there. We'll put you in a non-optimal position. We'll stick Baloth right there. I'll get Human in the back to buff everybody. Brig, join us. Join us, Brig. You. Brig we want next to a lot of people. This attack damage is lower. He's probably... Yeah, we're gonna go back up. I think he's gonna be next to a lot of people, and then a lot of those people are probably gonna have better attack damage than he does, especially with several DPS in my formation. Remember the formation, I think... This enemy is no enemy. For each adjacent champion. Yeah, so... I could put him in the Baloth slot, and that's going to be next to a lot of people. Yeah. Okay, and then Shandy, let's get you on in here. Alright, we have achieved an unoptimal formation. It's our normal unoptimal formation. You get pushing speed going. But it's not so bad. Let's play around with this a little bit. Talk about that question we had earlier about using champions that you don't normally use. Like, here we are. Actually, I use most of these. Esmeralda, I think, was going to be the one. As you can see, I got a couple blues on her. I gotta fill those out. But let's play around with this. I kind of want Brig right there. Whoop, nope. Let's do a swap with the two of you. Nope. And how about that? Oh, that's better. Okay. All right, here we go. This isn't so bad. I think we're gonna get going here. Okay, so I need 250 total. I need 250 total, but I don't have to do them all in one run. But Oriza does need to be the top DPS in area 250. So let's see if we can do it. Let's see if we can make the magic happen. So we're gonna get this specializations set up. We've got our formation. We're gonna do 251, which is just the way I tell myself, oh, this is one of those I need to go to 250. I don't think we're not gonna use any of that. Nah, well, should be fine. All right, neighbors. I think we got this. MTI, non-optimal is my middle name. Yeah, hashtag non-optimal is the name of the game in weekly patronage. It is not optimal for a wall push or a formation in general, but super optimal for getting a bunch of stuff with Zariel done. Yeah, I mean, look at that. No healers. It hurts. It hurts, but I did it. All right. Let's go back to some questions from chat while we let that run for a little bit, because, wow, a lot of questions came on in. Holy mackerel. Honda Hero 21. Question. Is the year-end festival just for this week, or will it continue until the end of 2021? It is just for this week. I know, it's called the Year's End Festival, and yet it is not technically at the very, very end of the year, but, close enough. So tomorrow is actually the last day. So if you haven't picked up your chest from today, definitely go ahead and pick it up. Tomorrow is the last one. And then there's still stuff coming this month. So, for example, there's 2 more events that are going to happen. Because there's Cimmeral that starts on Wednesday, and then I believe Winter Shield? So yes, there's still going to be stuff that's happening, but the actual Year's End Festival does end tomorrow. JDog2773 has C&E considered an in-game idle advent calendar. Okay, I need to know, because most of us should be at least D&D adjacent people, right? Like, most of us are D&D people. I'm tangent time. First off, I'll answer the question. JDog, I don't think so. But I kind of like the idea, so I'll pass that along. I feel like, in a way, the Year's End Festival and the stuff that we do like this is our version of an advent calendar, just, flavored, and where we just give you stuff every single day, but only for 7 days. But usually advent calendars are for an entire month, and so we'll see. Anyway, advent calendars. Oh, have you seen those knockoff D&D advent calendars that people have been buying just for funsies that are filled with the most cheap crap? Oh, it is so amazing and awful and ridiculous. Yeah, there's a couple people on Twitter who have they've made the sacrifice for all of us, Props to you for paying the money to what is obviously a third-party knockoff site to buy yourself a fake D&D advent calendar so that when you open up those little things, what you get in are cheap plastic toys that have nothing to do with D&D. Yes. Oh, definitely go look. Go look. There's a couple of people, especially on Twitter. I've lost the name, but I've seen a couple of them. There's someone on TikTok that's been doing it that literally it's the worst. One of them that I saw the other day, it's supposed to be a D&D advent calendar, and yet the cover of it is Seahawks branding. It's supposed to be a D&D advent calendar, and it's all Seattle Seahawks. Now, I am here in Seattle. I like the Seahawks. If you bought a football-themed D&D or football-themed advent calendar, that'd be one thing, but it's a D&D calendar. And yeah, every single one. Like, it's just the most cheaply made box. It's the one that I've been watching on Twitter that is an D&D one that actually has a D&D cover. It's like someone did a pan and scan crappy print of, I believe it's the player's handbook. It's a really bad picture, and it's just like the cheapest wrapping paper on top of a box with these little tiny and not even like evenly spaced. You know, usually nice advent calendars, they come with, you know, here's the little door and you open up the little door and hey, it's a thing. Yeah, the advent calendars that they're just, you have to like poke at the wrapping paper to find the holes. They don't even have doors. And yeah, when you open them up, they have almost nothing, if not absolutely nothing, to do with D&D, unless you count any small figurine as a D&D mini, and I don't, because I'm sorry. If you're expecting a D&D figurine, if you're expecting gnolls or dragons or myconids, and you get a Smurf, that is not D&D. That is not D&D. So yes, anyway, go check those out. I am so sorry if anybody here got pulled in on one of those. But if you would like to watch other people willingly give in to purchasing one of those in order to entertain the rest of us, their sacrifice for our gain, do some looking on Twitter and TikTok. There's a couple of on Twitter specifically, there's a couple of threads of people who are like, here's day 6. Friday CWU, if nerds can be D&D, then Smurfs can be D&D. Yes, that's true. But once again, with nerds, you know what you're signing up for. You know you're getting nerds. And if it was like a D&D Smurf adventure, you know, like they did the Rick and Morty adventure, if this was like buy a Smurf-themed D&D adventure, like they do with the nerds, that'd be different because you knew what you're signing up for. But if someone was like, I got you a D&D present, and it's a little plastic toy of Brainy Smurf, nuh-uh, no, nope. Go Player 7. Question, what do you think about an Icewind Dale patron being made soon with the main story being completed? What do I think? I just unlocked Xeraphon and I'm working on Xeraphon. I appreciate that you've asked me this question as though to try to get information out of me about upcoming things. I don't know. I don't know what's coming up with Icewind Dale. But yes, if you missed it, the final adventure for Icewind Dale did come out, and you can now get the Evergreen Champion Xeraphon that you unlock by doing that final adventure variant. Why am I forgetting where Xeraphon is? Oh, I am so bad at this. There's Xeraphon. Oh, that's why I can't use him. Look. I'm doing pretty well for unlocking Xeraphon just a couple days ago. Got a couple shinies. Working on it. Baradina F. Quick question. How do you unlock trials? So Trials of Mount Tiamat, if you would like to get into the Trials of Mount Tiamat, you unlock by finishing the main campaign for Descent into Avernus. Once you have completed that campaign, and by completed, I mean you've gone through all of the actual campaign parts of it, gotten to the point in where you've encountered Tiamat, let's say, and then it will unlock and become open for you. So basically the game makes sure that you've gotten far enough in several campaigns, and especially a hard campaign like Descent into Avernus, that you're going to have a good chance of being successful when you do unlock trials. Once you finish the Avernus campaign, there will be a specific adventure that will unlock for you that you need to complete, and then the Trials of Mount Tiamat will be available for you. So yeah, good question. Jamek Unyielding question. Can you give us an incredibly vague and useless tidbit about your favorite upcoming character? Incredibly vague, useless tidbit. My favorite tidbit about an upcoming unannounced character is that they like margarine instead of butter on their toast. Question. Lurking Writer, do you want nerds to ever qualify for a patron, be it an existing or future one, or should they remain the only champion, ineligible for all patrons? That's a good question. What I want versus what makes sense for the balance of the game might be two different things. I don't think they're going to change how the nerds actually function. Because the nerds are kind of a special promotional thing that happened, that we're trying to be really, really careful about making sure that the nerds don't end up being one of those characters that everybody suddenly thinks they absolutely have to have because it's going to help get you through a specific thing, just because it was such a unique way to unlock that champion, and especially not anytime soon, because right now it's still in the promotional period where you have to purchase nerds. Maybe once they become available in the gem shop, maybe, but I don't know. They're fun. They're super useful. They're adorable. Like, I love shaking the little thing, but I could see them continuing to be fun. We've got a roster of almost 100 champions at this point, so I think it's okay. I think it's okay. Maybe at some point in the future, maybe a feat will come out that will make them eligible. But my guess is, and my gut says, and I'm okay with this being the case, simply because they're kind of this unique promotional thing, that it's fine. It's fine. My cursor is not available. Curses! Why? Why, game? I'm supposed to be capturing the cursor. Why are you not capturing my cursor? Let's try this again. Okay, can you all see my cursor now? Can you see me floating about in the middle of the screen? You see me picking the nose of the statue in the back? Look. Cursor's now visible. All right. Listen, thank you for letting me know. I appreciate it. I don't know why it wasn't visible at first, but there you go. Cat23, isn't Oriza support DPS? Yes, she is. My concern when I was putting this together is also having Farida in the game, because she is solid DPS and focused on DPS all the time, that even though I'm focused on Oriza, see, look, what, Wolfgar, what are you doing? What are you doing to me, Wolfgar? That's going to happen, that I'm not going to be able to get Oriza as my top DPS just because of who else I have in the formation. But you know what? It's not the end of the world. Like, if we get through 250 levels and she's not my highest DPS, the important thing is I'm doing this stuff, and then afterwards I can always go back and just do a quick run with Oriza and set up a formation that is specifically geared to buffing her. So it's not that she isn't a good DPS, it's that I've got specifically Farida, but some other characters, some other champions in this formation that are just gonna be like, yoink, mine. Yes. The cursed cursor, it's been censored. D. Steve 832. I mean, that might have just been something I had going on with my OBS. That might have been my fault. I'm going to answer a couple more questions, but we should probably get another adventuring party going. So, friends, neighbors, countrymen, lend me your votes. Martin and Mars, if one of you could please get a poll going in our chat. Are we going after Strahd, Vajra, or Mert next? Who would we like to get another patron challenge going? While that poll is getting set up and going, let's grab some more. Luton Wofford 4. Apart from gold, are there any other restrictions to unlocking the 12th slot? I have 50Q, but I can't unlock Zorbu. You probably just need, if you're really early in the game and you're still trying to get to the point that all of the bench slots are getting unlocked, just keep playing. Just keep going through adventures, especially free plays. And if you hit your wall, which is the point of the game and where you can't progress any further, you can't kill the monsters in order to get to the next level, go ahead and reset. Chances are you're just not earning gold in an adventure fast enough to get to that 12th slot. So just keep giving it a try. It should happen pretty fast. So yeah. Hope that helps. Also, welcome to the game. Agro Mew, question, are the weekly patron challenges individual or the same for everyone playing the game? It's a little bit of both. For example, the game will not ask you to do a patron challenge with champions you do not own. So it's very possible that you've got the same challenges as I do, except you're seeing different people, say, here. I mean, you'll probably still have Makos, but you might, if you, for example, don't have Frida or Talon unlocked in your game, you will get different champions. Because it's a little unfair to be like, hey, here's a challenge, you gotta go do something else first before you could do this one. So there is a little bit of personalization, I guess we'll call it. So the more champions you unlock, the more stuff you'll be able to do and the more varied that will get. Frankly, it's kind of odd to see that both Mert and Vajra are asking for a lot of the same stuff. The Lurking Writer, question, mostly on topic. I mean, who needs on-topic questions? Ask off-topic questions. I'm okay with that. Do you think there should be more feats available to allow Strahd to have more eligible champions? Question number 2, it's still D&D. Dinner for Dragons was amazing. Oh, thanks. Any plans for a follow-up similar one-shot with the same players? All right, 2 different questions. So first, do I think there should be more feats to allow Strahd to have more eligible champions? I mean, if you're asking Lauren, the player, yes, because Strahd's hard. If you're asking Lauren, the person who understands that Strahd should be difficult and, yeah, I'm okay with it. Strahd should be challenging. And not everyone should be eligible for Strahd, whether it's... I mean, I know it's all because of the mechanics. But, like, Orkira's not eligible for Strahd. And frankly, if she was, I wouldn't want her to work for Strahd. Because why would she? So yeah, I'm okay with it. I think having the one who is the really, really, really picky one, I think that's okay. As for your other question, thank you for the kind words about Dinner for Dragons. That was a super fun game to run. For those that don't know, I ran a one-shot over the 24-hour Extra Life event that we had a couple weeks ago. And it was a D&D game that I ran for most of the marketing team. So Dylan, Margaret, Todd, V, and Trevor. And they all played Dragonborn because I asked them to, and they said, sure. And then we had this ridiculously fun game. I would love to do more. I'm hoping to do more D&D on this channel in the future. I know I've run a couple of things, so we'll see. I would absolutely love to do more with that group of people. We all, one of the reasons I was happy to run a one-shot for my coworkers is because they're also my friends, and I knew we would have a lot of fun. So hopefully we'll get to see some more. But yeah, if you'd like to see more D&D, let the social media know, let the Discord know, so that the company knows that, yeah, this is a thing that you'd like to see on the channel, because we are here for not just helping you with the game, but for funsies and entertainment. We're all D&D fans, and so let us know. But yeah, I hope I get to do more. Also, I believe Strahd has won. Strahd has won. All right, Strahd, let's take a look at you. Let's remind me what we were doing. Okay, so I'm sorry. I'm not doing 2 challenges in a row with no healing champions. Like, Strahd is already hard enough right now. Let's see. But Strix, Paulton, and Morgaine, we can do that. We can get them in here. And constructs or beasts? Let's do... I mean, we'll get both construct and beasts, but I'm gonna go to a witchlight. No, I don't want to do that. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go to a witchlight free play, because if I go hither to the Feywild, there's a lot of beasts in there. All right, Strahd, let's get you going. Oh, actually, I gotta be over here. Yeah. Because, might as well work on the Feywild funness. Okay. Let's get some familiars out there. While I'm taking care of this, just as a reminder, if you do have a question for me, go ahead and put it in chat with question in big capital letters so that Martin and Mars can grab it and pass it along to me so that when I am done figuring all of this out, I can go back to the questions and grab it. Meanwhile, Strix, Polton, and Morgaine. Let's start with the three of you. There's Morgaine. I'm like, where are you? Morgaine is another one. Here we go. Poor Morgaine. I need to work on getting her some better equipment. We'll do Smelly. We're definitely gonna want Polton. Okay. I'm gonna hold off on this because I haven't figured out an actual formation yet. So, all I got left over here is Melf. Probably gonna want to increase damage. Tyrell is probably a good one to have there. Volanya may be good. Volanya or Hitch could work. We are kind of looking for a DPS here because I need to have the three of them in here, but I can use anyone for my DPS. So, here's another thing I gotta work on. I gotta work on my gym. All right. So we could go Ashara. Part of me wants to get a Lindra in here, but let's go Ashara specifically because I haven't actually done this yet. Oh, look at that. Look at that. So good. So good. All right. So I guess we're doing an Ashara formation. I am not going to worry about that second bond because we're going to be able to get through enough. I'm not pushing my wall. Gelatinous Cube. I got all the new songs in here from the Bardic Inspiration soundtrack. It makes me happy. All right, we definitely want Aquilic. I've already picked my DPS. Oh, yeah, we're probably going to want to go Whittle. Guthris will make some sense in here. All right, well, it looks like Tyrell is our tank. Tyrell the tank. Let's get the moose up front. Do we have anyone else we can get in the tanking slot, please? Is there any other tanks? Tanks for, Turiel. He's a support. He's not really a tank. I don't know if we've got any other tanks. Ooh. We could put Strix up front. Strix is pretty beefy. Strix may end up being up front. Okay. Let's get the rest of this set up. Okay, so Morgaine has this interesting upgrade in where she starts to figure out her formational positional funness in a couple different ways. So this is adjacent champions, non-adjacent champions, champions in front, champions behind. So we don't want that. We might want the up front. I think the only other person we want in the back is Volanya. So we do have space back there. So yeah, let's do forward facing. Let's get Whittle in here and she's not gonna be alone. Let's see. Increases the effect for everyone adjacent. She's gonna have a fair number of people adjacent. Enemy attacking a champion. We're not getting too deep into this adventure, so we're probably not going to have people stacking. The champions are probably going to be killing the monsters pretty fast. For every second that an enemy isn't killed. You know what? Let's keep it simple. Let's just keep it simple. Now, Ashara is all about that int and whiz. All about the int and whiz. I think probably most of the other champions are probably charismatic, so we'll go there. How many more slots we got left? 2. All right, let's stick a Cadibri in there, and let's stick a... All right, I've only got the 1 gnome. Probably half-elves. Yeah, that's gonna make sense. Okay, Cathris, you're there. Let's get people leveled up. Come on. All right, and I think we have a formation. And I want non-adjacent, because he's sitting in the back with Valanya. All right. Let's play around with this a little bit. I think we're in a pretty good spot. Once again, no, I don't think that's really going to matter too much. As long as Whittle is next to Ashara, I don't think the two of you... Well, you apparently matter more than I think. How about that? Nope. All right. Okay, we're good. We're good. Let's save this incredible formation. This absolutely stellar formation. Yep. We got you saved. Now, if I remember correctly, I just need to do 250 areas, 500 areas, but I don't have to get past a specific area. Well, 200 or higher. Okay, there it is. There it be. So, we're going to say 201. Let's get some potions of speed going. And there we go. Party number 2. Party in the party. Strahd has begun. So we're going to be able to get a bunch of this done pretty fast. Oh, while I'm here, one of the other reasons that I like to do all of the patrons even a little bit throughout the week is because I want to make sure I have the money to buy Modron component chests. Oh, so useful. So I just kind of go through right at the beginning. I'm like, give me all your Modron chests. And because I slack on Mert, all right, I'll get some Mert done later. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay. Let's get back to questions and see how everybody is doing in chat. How is everybody doing? We're an hour into the show. We've got 2 out of the 4 patrons grinding away. I think we're doing pretty good. Doorbell streams. Question. What does Orkira think about all the patrons shunning her this week? I feel so unloved. I mean, I just want to help. That's all. I just want to be there to help people, do a little bit of healing. I don't understand why they don't want me around. Like, I've bathed recently. I cleaned the armor. I don't think I smell. Do I smell? I probably don't smell. No, it's probably fine. No, I don't know. I mean, Strahd never likes me, but I don't like Strahd, so that's fine. I don't know why the rest of them don't want me. I like Vajra. I hung out with Mert. We shared drinking songs and everything. Actually, Mert isn't one of those who... Mert is DPS. I'll go hang out with Mert. Mert still likes me. There we go. Silverian X asks, what level should I get Human's carefully balanced feet to? Oh, you know what? I gotta look that up. Let me make sure I've got all the correct information about the carefully balanced feet. I bet you, considering how many questions have come in and how long it took me to set up that formation, that you probably got the answer to this from chat already. But let me pull up Human. So we're talking about his carefully balanced feet. Oh, wait, hold on. So you're talking about his rainbow eggs. I mean, I think there's going to be people in chat who are going to say as high as possible. Yeah, Silvery Next. The answers were as many as you can and 441. Yeah. And as you can see, I still got to do some work on that. And it's because that's such a powerful ability, the carefully balanced. So for those that don't know, increases the effect of a specific character's teamwork ability by a specific amount for each champion adjacent to the kobolds, which is one of the reasons that I have them, while I have them in the last row in order to buff the 2 rows in front of them, I've got them kind of in the middle so that there's a lot of people around them. Yes, yeah, it's Penelope's song. Yeah, the first thing I did after Bardic Inspiration, the Bardic Inspiration Volume 2 came out, was I grabbed all of the instrumentals so that I could put them into my live stream so I could have them in the background. So the only thing I didn't do was I didn't put the music into the background that actually had singing because because if there was actual singing involved, first off, if there was singing during Penelope song, it's Hope singing, and I'm not talking over Hope singing. It's just not going to happen, so we would just be sitting here in silence as I bopped along for 2 or 3 minutes, which is not a bad thing, but also not why I'm here. Also, this entire stream would just turn into karaoke time. I don't know if that's the name of the show. No, it's not the name of the show. Sorry. But yes, I love having all of the new stuff for... yes, Go Player 7, talking over Hope singing is illegal. Absolutely. I would arrest myself if I did. For those of you who missed out, there's a whole second album for Bardic Inspiration. Bardic Inspiration Volume 2 is out. And if you like the songs that are in it, you definitely want to go ahead and buy the album, especially if you're on Steam or Epic, where you can buy and download and have the really high quality audio. So good. You get the instrumentals with all of them. You can listen for free in the jukebox. They should all be updated, and you should definitely listen to Orkira's song as often as possible. That's my workout song now. That is the song that I just put on when I want to get hyped to work out, because I don't know about you, but it is impossible for me to hear one problem at a time and not start to jump around in glee. I admit I might be biased. Questions! Arcanar, question. Not patron related, but a specialization question. For Korth, which specialization should I be using for my mobile version when I have only the core 12 to pick from? Korth, which specialization? I mean, it kind of... Oh, where's my Korth? There he is. I usually pick the left, because I think that's what gives a bonus to stuff. Oh, I'm blanking on this. Let's come over here where I can pull up Korth. I know it's the left specialization that I usually go for when I use Korth, and I like using Korth a lot. I like the... you know what? The Whittle, you're going to be gone for a second. Okay. Oh, yeah, I'm not even going to be able to use to pull them up. So, yes, whatever that left specialization is. Help me, chat. You're my only help. Help. Group tactics. Thank you. But, yes, do the left one. I like that because it gives kind of the most damage bonus. And I also really like using Korth a lot because of the temporary hit points. Group tactics. Lurking Rider says, Lauren, you can put backing vocals for Jason Charles Miller in your CV resume now. I mean, singing Hey, I don't know if I really call that as backing vocals. I'm not going to say that. I am, however, the fact that I'm listed in the credits, you can't look at it here, but yeah, I'm listed. Here we go. One problem at a time. I mean, I know chat helped out a lot with this song. Chat helped out a bunch. I can't say that I did anything special for one problem at a time. But there I am. And it makes me so happy. Hey! And there's the song. Oh, Whittle went away. Hey, Whittle, get back in there. And then it's like I called into being the Orkira song. Oh, so happy. Okay. Back to questions. Dynamara 10. Question. I noticed when I'm doing my Avernus adventures, sometimes when I get to a boss, if I kill all the mobs, the boss gets a shield icon and becomes invincible and kills my party. Is there anything I'm doing wrong or that I can do different? It sounds like a bug. If they become invincible, and for a second I thought it said invisible, which would also be a bug. Both of those would be bugs. Yeah, if they're invincible all of a sudden, that sounds like a bug. When you're at a boss, they will get more and more powerful the longer it takes for you to kill them. But that's an additive thing, and you should see a little bar show up down here showing that. So, Bossman Zero says sounds like an armored boss. Perhaps. That's very possible. So yeah, check out the details about the boss. But initially, if you kill all of the mobs and the boss is just immediately wiping out your party and is invincible, that feels like it might be a bug. But take another look, see if it is an armored boss. That can happen. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to know more information, but don't be afraid to go ahead and submit a support ticket. Here's the thing. If it's not a bug, if it's a feature, if it is that something else is going on, then support's going to be able to help you with that as well, because they're going to be able to tell you, oh no, this specific boss that you're talking about right here, and they're going to give you some information. But there's a bunch going on there, and without some more details, it might be hard for us to figure out. So those are my two suggestions. Come to the Discord, discord.gg/idlechampions, and you can give us the more details that you need. Hey, I'm on this adventure at this boss, and this specific thing is happening. And maybe from there, there's some details that we can get to help out. Or, and it's good for everybody to know, hey, go ahead and submit a support ticket. Go ahead and click on this little question mark in the bottom right-hand corner. When support will open up a new browser, you say okay. I'm going to say cancel because, I don't want to open up a support browser. But go ahead and give that information to support. And if it is a bug, if you are encountering an issue, they'll be able to help with that too. Worst case scenario is it's not a bug and you submit a bug report, and our wonderful, absolutely awesome customer service people will tell you that and give you some advice on what's going on so that you know more information. Either way, you will find out more. The more you know. Lutton Wofford 4, where should I be putting familiars? I have one in the top box out of the 6 on the enemy section. So, depending on the number of familiars you have, there's a bunch of different ways of going about it, and everyone kind of has their own ideas about, especially if you don't have enough familiars to put one wherever you want. And it can take a while to build up enough familiars to be able to do that. I tend to prefer to put my familiars on the level up bars to actually be auto-leveling the champions. Now that is because I'm the kind of player who's going to play for a little while, actively, set things up, put champions out there, figure out a bunch of stuff, and then I walk away from the game for a little bit. Figuratively. It will end up in the background while I am doing other work. And so having familiars on the auto-level up bar means I can go further because I'm not having to come back to the game and level those champions up to get further. Because if you don't level them up, you will eventually hit a kind of wall. You'll hit a wall in where you can't go any further without leveling them up. So that's kind of the first place I prioritize if I don't have enough familiars. After that, I think it kind of depends on A few things. I like having one on the roaming ult bar, once again, because I'm often setting and forgetting. I'm playing for a little bit and then walking away, and so having a familiar on that roaming bar is really useful. And for me, if I didn't have enough familiars to put everywhere I want, the last place I'd probably put is on the field. Now that's me. I think depending on what you're trying to do, what adventure you're doing, and how many familiars you have, I think there's other really good suggestions out there. So, my suggestion with a grain of salt. You'll often see me when I'm setting up a formation putting familiars out on the field first. Half of that is because I know I have enough familiars to do all the things I want to do. But also, when I'm setting up a formation, I know I can just, in the first bunch of areas, I can stick a full field of familiars out there. Full field of familiars in the formation. That was more difficult to say than I thought. I could do that, and they'll kill the mobs for a little while so that I can focus on setting up a formation. But that's my suggestion. Put your familiars to auto level up your champions. That's going to, in my opinion, get you the furthest, get you the most mileage for your familiar money. All right. Honda Hero 21 question. They're laughing about the D&D Smurfs. How about your interpretation on the sketching hour? See, I gotta be careful with Smurf. Smurf is a trademarked thing. I can talk about Smurfs in general, but we probably can't be drawing them on the sketching hour. But Smurfs are just Zwerfneblin. Zwerfneblin are just more awesome Smurfs, right? That's what I'm gonna say. Let's see. Friday, CWU question. So Icewind Dale is not complete in the same sense as Tomb of Annihilation is, right? There are still variants to come for Icewind Dale. I believe it's done. Just like, every once in a while we have added variants for a bunch of campaigns. Like recently there was that update that added dragons to a bunch of different campaigns, dragon variants. But as far as the adventure and the major updates for Icewind Dale, it's done. We got through the campaign. So yeah, you might see some other stuff in the future, but it's not going to have the same kind of cadence because, you won. You won at D&D. JDog2773 question. Do we know the guest on Idle Insights, live or recorded? I do not know. That's an excellent question. Let me see if I can find out. Oftentimes the schedule is still being finalized at the beginning of the week. So I don't often know things like the guests. But let me go ask a question in a place. No. There we go. The question has been asked. If I get an update, I'll let you know. If you don't hear from me, just keep an eye on our socials. It'll definitely get announced. But we'll see what we can find out. Delunja. That was a surprisingly fun name to say. Delunja. Are there any tanking champions that are not also a support affix? The no support patron challenge doubles as a no tanking requirement as well. Yeah, that moment and where you can't have any support. Like I was complaining about the no heals, but that's mostly because I am such a cleric person. No support. It's really, really hard. You basically just end up with a bunch of DPS and Arcan. Bunch of DPS and Arcan. That's about it. Because I think Arcan is the only tank who doesn't have, he's a DPS tank. I believe everybody else, when you get those, everybody's got or nobody can be a support champion. That's basically the oops all DPS formation. It is hard. It is especially when it's in Strahd. So yeah, I don't think there's any others that I can think of off the top of my head, especially tanks. 'Cause tanks are kind of considered support. So, and then support are considered support, and healers are considered support. So it's really only those dedicated DPS and Arcan. Sorry. You have my good luck. Let's see. D Steve 832, how many years do you have to play before you unlock all these goodies? So I've been playing for many, many years, but you do not have to play for many, many years to unlock everything. I know specifically Garwar has a guide. I know Garwar has a guide for that. Everybody, sorry, drink. Juice. Garwar has a guide for new players who want to mainline getting through a bunch of the core stuff to be able to unlock everything. The good thing right now is, especially if you're willing to put in a little bit of time and get yourself the multiple parties going, the adventuring parties, you can get everything in a while, in a couple of months. You do not need to spend years anymore. All the champions can be unlocked using time gates, and the patron challenges can help with a lot of the other stuff going on. So yeah, it's not something that's going to be weeks. It's going to be months, but I don't think it's going to take you years, especially if you are dedicated is the wrong word. If you are intent, if you put a lot of effort into it, you can get through a ton of this game very, very fast. My suggestion is maybe don't go so fast that you don't get a chance to enjoy the story, because the story is fun and the journey is fun. So have fun, but if your fun comes from I want all the things, then yeah, check out Garwar's guide for I don't remember the specific name of the guide, but it is like the new player's guide to unlocking a bunch of the main stuff in the game. And one of the big things that it does that will help is unlocking multi-party mode, because once you have multiple parties in the game to be able to do a whole bunch of stuff, that's when you can start multitasking like a boss. But personally, I've been playing since the game came out. Let us go to the Steam page. I'm currently playing on Steam. I've looked this up a couple times and I always forget. But fortunately, Steam is here. All right. I have an achievement that I know is the basic, you got through the... Where are my achievements? Share. Why does it always take me so long to find the achievements? View all... There we go. There's my achievements. So there's a achievement that you unlock for basically doing the tutorial, which is often a good way of figuring out when you first started playing. This is not where I wanted to be. Where'd my achievements go? Why am I so bad at Steam, chat? Why is this such a problem for me right now? Let's go to Ice Champions Forgotten Realms. There's my groups. There's me on the Steam page. That's always interesting to see me in a bunch of different places. View my achievements. Nope, that's not what I want. You know what? They've changed how these achievements are listed. It's hiding behind the eye. It used to be that I could see... Oh, here we go. Brief tour of the realms. Finally found it. So, September 9th, 2017. At 6:59 a.m. What was I doing at 6:59 in the morning? Why was I playing this game at 6:59 a.m.? I mean, I did used to leave this game on overnight. Back in my day, before there was a thing called familiars, before you could put on multi-party mode,
Before all the fancy schmancy things that you kids have nowadays. Back in my day, if you wanted to get things done, you had to do it yourself. So you'd leave the game on all night. You'd wake up in the morning, and you'd hit your wall. But all your champions would need to be leveled up, manually, by hand, one click at a time, uphill, both ways.
So yeah, I probably woke up in the morning and was just like, oh, I need to level up a whole bunch of champions. Let's do a couple more questions and we'll get one more patron challenge started. Let's see. Dark Dragon, for the sketching hour, for the sketching hour show you do. Sorry, I saw doo-doo in a row. For the sketching hour show you do you have the list of roll table words posted online somewhere? Not yet. But we have a very wonderful fan of the show who is working on something so that we can. But no, at the moment, if you're looking for the active... so for those that don't know, the sketching hour is we have 3 lists that I and Alexis and Michelle, the artists, we roll on. And so we randomly get a monster, a cute animal, and an adjective. And then the artists spend time crafting a new creature with those prompts while I work with chat to come up with like backstory and answer questions. And we name the creatures, all kinds of fun stuff. It's a super fun show. It's on Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Pacific on this channel. And as we use the cute animals, monsters, and adjectives that are on those lists, one of my jobs is I remove them from the list and I add new things so that we constantly have an updated list so that we're less likely to get repeats. Because, you know, it can happen. Random things happen. And we are working on a way to have those live, but my suggestion is if you're interested to know what's on those lists, the VODs should be available, either the YouTube or you can go right now to the Twitch VOD and watch right away. And if it's not up on YouTube yet, it should be. Just go watch the most recent episode right at the beginning. You'll see the rolling tables right there. That is an inelegant solution. I know I am not offering the most elegant solution, but it works. And yes, that is something that I'm working on. Okay. I need to get a final adventuring party going. Party 3. Neighbors, I need to know. We've been working on Zariel and Strahd. We've got Vajra and Mert left. Moderators, would you please start a poll? Let us choose. Are we doing Mert or Vajra challenges? Who's our final patron that we will be working on today? Who's our final patron that we'll be working on for 2021? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Meanwhile, I'll answer other questions. Super Fluffy Kitty. Hey, Lauren. Can I get a good Artemidas formation for Icewind Dale Rime of the Farth Maiden? I'm struggling in the later variants that are int locked. Feels like Art is going to be the best DPS for that. I mean, Art is pretty good. Off the top of my head, I'm not sure if I could give you a full formation. I would definitely look into an evil formation, depending on the champions that are going to be available because of the int requirement. That might be a thing to specifically come to our Discord for, because we have a whole channel in Discord dedicated to formations. And depending on what champions you have available, you can go to that channel and say exactly what you said to me. And yeah, I do think Artemidas is very useful as a DPS. I don't end up using him quite as often as I would like to, especially like here we are, and he's one of the only 2 people that I got available. I tend to throw Art in there. Art. Now I'm gonna just call him Art from now on. Artemis. I tend to throw him in there with evil formations. So grab Krull and Arkan or Dorbu or, you know, a whole bunch of the evil champions and go from there. But definitely come to our Discord and ask that question. I think it's going to be a lot easier, specifically because they're going to be able to find out what champions you have available. They're going to be able to show you a formation setup Whereas at the moment, that would be a little more difficult for me to do. I know there's also been some formations that have been set up that include Orkira, because you can do some very interesting things with some of Orkira's abilities and her overhealing. But you'll definitely want to go check that out, because that also requires a little bit of setup. And if you're having int requirements, Orkira is not going to be available because her int is 8. Yeah, sorry. Listen, you can't be good at everything. Let's see. The Lurking Rider question: which campaign, quest, or variant do we need to complete to unlock the bee skins for Strix and or Rosie? Oh, this got changed. So it used to be that there was stuff in one of their events that you had to complete. So there was a variant that you had to complete that you got it for, but I think that's changed because of the fact that those are older champions. I'm gonna double check about the specifics of that, because I think, I want to make sure I get you the right answer about that, and I know that got changed to make it a little easier for everybody. So, pause there. I'm gonna send out the call. What? I don't know if I'm gonna get the answer to that before the end of the show, but I'm gonna try. Meanwhile, looks like Mert won. I don't know if I'm accidentally influencing the vote or something, but I feel like every time I go, I really wish that so-and-so would win. Yeah. Huh. Anyway, I'm happy with the Mert. Mert. Okay. So, no DPS. Brunner, Drizzt, and Calliope. I'm gonna be honest, family. That means I can't have Orkira anywhere, and I'm super upset by this idea. I mean, I'm gonna do a Mert patron. I'm gonna do what you said. But are you all okay if I just don't do this specific challenge so I can have Orkira somewhere in my game? Are you okay with that, chat? Oh, Timno said yes. Awesome. Let's do that. Okay, Fiends. Let's go after Fiends. I was just waiting for someone to give me permission. All right, we're going to go after Fiends. So we want Mert. We're going to go to Baldur's Gate. We're going to come to Avernus. We're going to do, is it Elter is Fallen, or is it's The Last Stand? I think is where we get a lot of, thank you, everybody. I appreciate all of the support. Oh, Dahani, I love you, but you're not in a different party. You're here. Okay. So, we're not going to worry about this one. No DPS, we can definitely do. 300 or higher, and all the rest of the stuff. So we kind of can just put a formation together, which I like. So you know what? Let's just get as many. I would normally go Warden here, but Warden is a DPS. I think Nova, yep. Ooh, Havilar. How many tanks do we get? 3. Yeah. We want Havilar. Maybe Lazaps. I was thinking for a brief moment, well, we could stick Drizzt in there because I'm going to need Drizzt for later stuff, but then I got a DPS champion in there, and that doesn't work. Hitch would work here. Oh, well, we're going to have a Freely. Krull? Yeah. Why not? Why not a Krull? Briv, because I think, despite the fact that in D&D, Briv is super deadly and actually a DPS. He is not a DPS in this game. He does everything else. I normally... Okay. I think we have to go sentry here because everybody else is either somewhere else or listed as a DPS. Ooh. Oh, I kind of just want Spurt. I just want Spurt. I just want Spurt. Okay. And since we were talking about Korth, let's get Korth in here. All right. Who's going to be our DPS? I mean, we don't have anybody with a DPS tag. I mean, Penelope might end up being our DPS, which is I'm okay with this. I'm super duper okay with this. Yeah, Hitch is also really good. Yeah, so the Lurking Writer's right that Penelope is the closest thing to a DPS that the heroes have, as far as in the video game. In D&D, pretty much everybody except for Orkira is a DPS. But yeah, let's... You know what? We'll just stick the two of them in the same spot. We're gonna get you two. Did Alindra? I can't use Alindra. That's why. Everybody's gonna be good. Everybody's gonna be good. Let's do more daggers. Usually I'd go charismatic, but in this case, pretty much everybody is chaotic good. Minor eruption. Yeah, we want to skip. Let's go fast. Let's go super duper fast. Orkira tanked that boss and then immediately died. Wow. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Don't worry about me. I'll just be here, burning things up. You just said I'm not a DPS, and here I am. Here I am just doing DPS stuff.
Okay. Let's get Freely in there. Let's get Hitch and Penelope. Yeah, Korth. You've got it, because there's nothing else you can do. I want Havilar. I want Havilar in there. Let's grab, Krull, because Krull is fun. And Spurt. We've got kind of a good versus evil vibe going on here, and I'm okay with this. I'm super duper okay with this. Pain. Here we go. So this is what I was talking about. Group tactics. Korth helps champions that are adjacent to him do more damage against marked targets. Whereas rapid training is, he basically helps the non-adjacent champions attack faster. I tend to use Korth when I want him to buff damage, not increase attack speed. So that's why I almost always go group tactics. Because, do you? So yeah, so I guess Penelope is our DPS. I'm okay with this. I am super duper okay with this. Once again, we're not looking for a incredibly optimized formation. We're just looking to get stuff done. I love how mixed up all... Usually I would also take the time and be like, let's make sure that Flo is over here on Priv. But like, we'll just make sure the Phoenix is on Orkira and we're done. Let's see. I don't think... Yeah, that's going to help a little bit. I don't think that apparently does matter. Never mind. Oh, because Spurt. Okay. All right. There we go. This'll work. We're not going to get this one, but who cares?
Listen, it's way more important that I get to hang out with Mert than it is for Bruner to be able to hang out with Mert.
All right, let's save. Let's overwrite this formation. Let's save this formation. This is the part that is the most important if you are, like me, going to be playing the set it and forget it game. Is making sure you have Modron automation set up. 200 or higher. Oh, 300 or higher. Oh, ooh, big money, Mert. All right, we're doing a 301. And let's get a potion of speed, and there we go. There we go. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Okay. We've got 30 minutes left. Let's get some more questions out of the way and answered. And yes, I'm being given the heads up for the person that was asking about the B outfits for Rosie and Strix, that yes, it's For Rosie, it's one of the variants in their time gate in order to unlock that outfit. I hope that helps. Back to questions. Mars. Hey, Mars has a question. I just want you to know I did actually pick up that Orkira Wild offer after you told me to do it. Golden bag of marshmallows for the win. Yes. Listen, I am usually not the person who's going to ask you to spend money on the game I work on for obvious reasons. And one of the reasons that I've been a fan of this game for as many years as I have is because of the fact that you can play this game literally for years. And I know this because I did. And not spend any money and still be able to do everything. Be able to play through everything in the game, be able to complete all of the tasks, be able to enjoy the entire game without having to spend money. And for a very long time, the only money that I could afford to throw at the game was every once in a while when they do a charity familiar. And that's when I would scrape together a couple of dollars and be like, here you go. I love what you do. I would like the cute, adorable familiar now. But, if you feel inclined to spend a little bit of money on this game that we love, you should always buy Orkira her golden marshmallows. You should always pick up golden marshmallows. Oh, also, if I can show this off, speaking of golden marshmallows, although mine are shiny, but yes, I have legendary almost all. I got one more thing I gotta get to legendary. Hopefully this week. This week I'll get some trials done, and then Orkira will be full legendary, and then I will start to increase the legendary stuff that she'll have. She has legendary pants. All right, back to questions. G-Mick Unyielding question. Now that they're all out, what are your favorite Ascendant packs? Can judge on skins, feats, flavor, whatever you like. Ooh, that is an interesting question. All right, I'm not going to talk about the Ascendant skins as far as the stuff that they come from, like the feats. I'm just going to talk about the actual skins. And I'm going to stick with just the reinforcement pack because that's the most recent group that came out, was Group 3 from Trials of Mount Tiamat, which was a fun surprise. I mean, it's hard not to go with Evelyn because of the unicorn. It's super hard not to. I mean, it's a unicorn, everybody. I get such She-Ra vibes off of this. Oh, it's so good. I love that she's barefoot. Like, I just think this art is absolutely gorgeous, and it works so well with this character and is amazing. The other person the other skin that I really love is Walnuts. Like, it's just so perfect for her character. Like, yeah, you can go, this is a druid, and of course they're wearing druid armor. But, like, having watched the C-Team, and especially with the way that Tristan described what Walnut's culture is like, and what those people are like, and what they wear, and, like, the things that they do, and the way they are druids, all these little details are really amazing. And I love the red throughout. It's not a color thing that you often see with druids. You don't often see red. So I like that. So those are the two. If we're just talking about the most recent Descendant skins, which I am, because I get to make the rules. Sure, why not? Rat with Wings. New show proposal. Weekly karaoke with C&E. I mean, I would argue that's called Bardic Inspiration, and it's on Tuesdays from 1 to 3 Pacific with Dylan and Jason Charles Miller. But I know what you're actually asking. Here's the thing. We could only ever sing the songs from Bardic Inspiration for obvious be on Twitch and not get in trouble with Twitch reasons. That would not be a bad thing, but we got Jason. And so, I don't know if I'd want it to be a weekly stream. I know there was a couple of times for some of the Extra Life events that we were doing that a karaoke something has come up, and definitely doing all Bardic Inspiration songs for our karaoke would just make the most sense, not just in all the legalities of having songs be sung on Twitch, but also, hey, we've got a couple albums of these songs that we own. Why not do our own songs? And so maybe at some point in the future, Dylan made a good point when we were talking about something similar, which is the vast majority of people who work at the company are not singers, me included. I am not that kind of bard. I'm an oboist for a reason. I sing only in short spurts when I know that it's not going to matter very much, or the tone quality is not as important. We also have VMuse, who, along with being an amazing content coordinator and working with all of our content creators and marketing person and just overall wonderful mini painter and all that stuff, is a trained opera singer. And so either she would destroy us or needs to go last. So I don't think it would be a weekly thing, once again, because we got Jason. So why not pay Jason to go have fun, and then we all get to listen to an awesome singer. But yeah, maybe at some point in the future. Maybe at some point. Yeah, I have been asked to sing the Orkira song, and I've been asked to sing the Orkira song as Orkira. And I will admit, every once in a while, I am tempted. But that is not going to be fun for anybody. It'll happen on a lark one of these days, and everyone will be like, that was fun, let's never do that again. Okay. Mar says that he would sing his heart out terribly at the slightest opportunity. I mean, that is a skill and a talent. And to perform and enjoy the performance and not be self-conscious about the quality of singing. I think we all know that moment in a karaoke performance, whether in person or on the internet or through like America's Got Talent, and where you just go, oh, honey, really? Really? No. But like, to have the self-confidence to go, nah, I ain't good at this, but we're gonna have fun. Let's just have fun. That's the most important thing in karaoke. I 100% agree. Also, once again, it'll happen with me and or Orkira once, and a couple people will laugh, and then we'll never do it again. Jester98125, question. Are there any plans to allow having 11 and 12 champs on the field? I do not know what the formations that are going to be happening next are. I don't know. To be honest, I know we're always making new formations, and different formations of formations are happening. Every time there's a new event, there's a new formation that is built for that event. So I don't know. I also don't know if I would want a formation that uses all 12 bench slots, because that, unless it's like a one-off fun thing, like that's a hard thing to build, especially if it's got restrictions on it. Like, you've watched me struggle to put together a semi-optimal formation with what I got, and I don't even have to use all bench slots. I'm not going to say no, because I honestly don't know. I honestly have no idea. I do know you are not the first person to ask, however, and keep asking for that kind of stuff. We're always interested in hearing what you think would be fun in the game. There may be reasons we don't do it that are practical or balance related, or, you know, a variety of different reasons why we wouldn't, but it's always worth an ask. We always want to know, especially come to the Discord. I'll go ahead and put it in chat again. Discord.gg/Idle Champions. I really honestly mean this. We do listen to all of the comments. We can't always respond to everything, and we can't always say yes to things. And sometimes we say yes to things, but in order to make them happen is weeks, months worth of work on the back end to either make it happen or to do other things to make that thing happen. The game is very interconnected, so sometimes, hey, I would like to see a formation with 11 champions in it. Sometimes means the devs have to go and change or update the way something else works for coding reasons that I am not conversant in. Every once in a while, they give we had to do this, to do this, to do this, to do this, to do this. And the A to C seems like a huge leap, but then when you list off all of the steps, oh, that makes sense. So yeah, definitely go ahead and leave your suggestions. There's literally a suggestion channel in the Discord, and let us know. And as I said, we probably can't respond because we get a lot, but honestly, we do take note. We keep an eye and we keep a list, and on a regular basis, especially Trevor, our community manager, is constantly letting the team know, hey, this is what the community is feeling, this is what they're asking for, not just short term, but, over the last couple of weeks, over the last couple of months, these are kind of the top asks of stuff. So I hope that helps. I think that was probably a more long-winded answer to the question that you had asked, which was, are we getting this thing? And my answer was, go to our Discord and let us know. And also asking here, I mean, obviously that's one of the things that I will also do is take note of the stuff that people are asking for here in chat. You just, unfortunately, because you ask for things here in chat and I don't know what the answer is, you just get a lot more of me going, If you're okay with that, I'm okay with that too. Doorbell streams question. Any word on getting patron chest codes for weekly patronage? Probably not unless something special comes along. We've got those Electrum chests for this specific reason. And heck, I'm here to help. I'm here to help you. Whoops, that was not what I wanted to do. I'm here to help you get a whole bunch of these weekly challenges done so you can go ahead and get your own chests. Because these are super useful if you're looking for other ways that you can level up your champions, level up their gear. That's what patron chests are for. But yeah, in general, we try to stick with the Electrum chests as our chest giveaways. But every once in a while, we do fun things, especially when there's streaming events or things. So I'm not going to say never, but come by all of our streams and see what happens. Kavarn86 question. Do you only get chest feats for champions you have unlocked feats for, or do you get chest feats for all champions? If you're talking about the basic chests in the game, I believe you only get stuff for champions you have unlocked. Now, that's different if you have a chest that is for a specific champion and you haven't unlocked that champion. You'll get the stuff in there. And this is kind of true overall. If you ever get something, for example, gear for a champion, and you haven't unlocked that champion, or say you were opening up the Year's End festival chest and it included stuff for the Trials of Mount Tiamat, but you haven't unlocked Trials yet, you never lose any of that. That gear, that trial stuff, all of that sticks around. The game basically saves it in the back. It's got like a little what are those giant chests? Heirloom chests. Those big heirloom chests. It's got a big heirloom chest sitting in the back, and it just lovingly puts all the stuff that you've unlocked into the heirloom chest. And say you unlocked stuff for Brig, and you haven't unlocked Brig yet because he just came out a couple weeks ago. Month and a half ago? Wow. Anyway, Brig just came out a little while ago and you haven't had a chance to unlock him yet, but you got a Brig chest. And so now you got Brig gear. We lovingly put that away in a little heirloom chest, a little place in the back. And then when you go to, say, a time gate and unlock Brig, all of a sudden, yay, you've got stuff. So I hope that helps. Let's see. Arkanar question. Now that Mount Tiamat is over with, I'm assuming you mean Idle Champions Presents The Trials of Mount Tiamat, our short-term D&D campaign that did end last week, and it was epic. What is going to be streaming in that time slot now? Nothing for the moment. So that was happening. That was a 7-week show that happened on Mondays from 4 to 7 p.m. Pacific. And at the moment, there is nothing. I know. It's sad. There may be stuff in the future, but that's kind of been the space that we have for, we've now done Idle Champions Presents these D&D games a couple of times. So hopefully we'll do some more in the future. I can't guarantee that it'll be in the same slot, but, we like to have some consistency. But for the moment, that slot is free for you to go enjoy one of the other plethora of amazing D&D shows that are out there. And we'll let you know when something else ends up in that slot. Let's see. Pendlayer, question. We got a different icon for champions in another party, but not in the formation, just a few weeks after I asked for it. Is that marker used to avoid resetting the 10-minute background progress? I know that it's... You probably actually saw me have that with Orkira right here. And you're right, that it is specifically for, oh, hey, you had this champion in another formation, but they're not active. And yeah, I believe it's a quality of life thing. It's literally just supposed to make things easier so that you don't have to... I think before you had to basically move back and forth between parties. You'd say, hey, recall this champion from that party, and then you'd have to do some resetting. And now you should not have to do that. There should be that little, like you exactly were describing, like I had with Orkira. It just said, hey, let's get that champion over there and bring them back. And it should happen pretty quick. If it's not, let us know if you're still having issues with that. But that was absolutely a quality of life improvement that I have really enjoyed, because especially those first couple of slots, depending on how you have things set up, you can just accidentally have put a champion onto the field in a formation that you weren't going to use them in, and then switch to a different party, and then have it be like, but that champion's over in another castle. No. So yeah. If you're still running into problems, definitely let us know, but that is exactly what it's for. It's literally a quality of life improvement so that you shouldn't have to do resetting stuff in order to get a champion. It's for your formation. J. McUnyielding, question, do you have a recommendation for a good jumping on point to watch with Heroes of the Plains? Also, is D4 a year before or a year after Heroes of the Plains? Oh, we're getting into timelines. Okay, so Heroes of the Plains, good jumping on point. If you're just talking about Heroes of the Plains, which is the show that started at the beginning of this year and is ending tomorrow, if you're just talking about that, the obvious start point would be that first episode. Otherwise, there's a couple of places in where we start a new major adventure that are good places. Let me look up something real quick. So, if you don't want to start all the way from the beginning, which I would recommend, our shows are only 2 hours long, so it's not like, hey, watch the entire season of this. It's 3 billion hours. Let me grab the timeline. So, we have a total of, I think it's 36 episodes is what we're up to for the entire Heroes of the Plains season. So I would suggest going back to episode 1. Anything that happened before that, because we've been playing for about 3 years now, so there's a couple of other shows that happened before Heroes of the Plains that have backstory things happening. All of that, if it comes up in the game, we explain or is not important. So you can start at episode 1 of Heroes of the Plains. If you want to start with something a little later, say you want to give the show a try, and so you don't want to start at the very end. The first about 13 episodes are an adventure. Episode 14 starts after some downtime, and we start a new adventure at that point. And then kind of this final chapter started around episode 24. So if you start at any of those points, it will be a new adventure, although there's going to be stuff talked about and linking to previous things that have happened. But that at least starts you at the beginning of a new plot, if that helps. As far as D4, if you're talking about Orkira in this last year, anything that's happened in the last year, the run that I have had and where I've been a regular guest, as it were, that canonically happens a year before everything happens in Heroes of the Plains. So, I know timelines, right? I was on Silver and Steel. Silver and Steel came to an end. Orkira went from what was happening in Silver and Steel over to D4. And then everything happening in D4 basically happened right after Silver and Steel, but the stuff happening on Heroes of the Plains happens a year after D4. Which is why Orkira in D4 doesn't know anything about what's going on with Orkira in Heroes of the Plains. Does that make sense? It gets confusing. She's also guest starred a bunch of times. I've shown up for a couple of one-shots on D4, and those always kind of happen in canon, but that gets way more complicated, and so don't worry about it. In the end, don't worry about it. In the end, that kind of stuff, it's fun. It is super fun to connect all of those worlds. It is really fun to be able to take a character and go to different shows and connect groups of characters together. Literally, it's like playing Idle Champions and being able to put a whole bunch of different teams together so they play together. Having the chance to play Orkira somewhere else isn't just fun for me as a performer, but it's also an opportunity to interconnect those worlds. And if Marvel has taught us anything, that's always awesome. I wouldn't worry too much about the details. The timelines and who knows what and like minutia like that, it's fun to get into, but it's not necessary. And we try to focus in all of those cases on the events happening at that time and the interconnected relationships and the stuff that we're fighting. So never, and I'm going to say this is a blanket statement for like all of D&D shows, especially ones that have like a big history like ours have. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it too much. It's okay. We're always very cognizant if something comes up in the game that's a reference to some past event or something on another show. We always try to give enough information in that moment so that you're not lost. And if there's ever a D&D show, not just ours, but any D&D show that you want to get into to watch, I also suggest probably, just start with whatever the latest episode is. You'll be lost for a little bit, and that'll be okay. But most streams do a really good job of giving a recap at the beginning, the TLDR. What do you absolutely need to know to set up the events of today's show? And then watch and enjoy. And you might not understand all of the specific plot things that are going on. You might miss some of the nuance. But if it's a show that you're really interested in, if it's a show that clicks with you, you're going to gravitate towards the characters. And what you'll find at the end of the show is you'll be interested in knowing more about these characters. You'll want to watch to find out more about their history, about their the way they interact with each other. So don't worry too much about the details. Focus on the characters. And that's kind of my general suggestion. That was super off topic. I hope I answered your question. Yes, Jamek Unyielding, and I'll do this real fast. So if you want the full timeline, the Heroes of the Plains, these characters, specifically, not Whittle, but if you're talking about like Penelope, Averin, Briv, Freely, Orkira, Alindra, and a little bit Whittle, but mostly the other characters. We started about 3 years ago in a show called Heroes of the Veil, which went for a bunch of episodes, and then that changed, and we had a slight change in cast, and specifically B-Dave joined us as Freely for Beyond Heroes, and that went for a little while, and eventually that show came to an end, and Penelope, Alindra, and Orkira moved to a show that was already happening called Silver and Steel, and we were on there for a little while, and then that show came to an end, and then Orkira did the splits. So much. Okay, let me get one or two other questions in before we have to go. Nobles76 question: are there plans to make more champs for all the different affiliations? I can't talk about future champions because, spoilers. However, I will say that, like Heroes of the Plains, usually when we put affiliations into the game, it is because we know that there's going to be a group of champions who are all involved in that affiliation. And we do like to collect them all. And finally, I joke. What is the 2 buttons top left between patrons and complete adventure? So that's patrons. That is complete adventure. This is the Trials of Mount Tiamat button, and that's the Forge button. And the short answer is these are things you unlock when you complete the Descent into Avernus campaign. These are a cooperative thing that you get to do with other players to defeat Tiamat. And those buttons don't show up until you have the option available to do the thing, because we thought it would be rude to give you buttons for things you can't do yet. So go ahead and complete Descent into Avernus, Baldur's Gate, Descent into Avernus, complete that campaign, and then you'll get those buttons. And then we'll play in a Trials adventure together. But until that time, I have to say, I've had a lovely time answering all of your questions today. Thank you so much for joining me on Weekly Patronage. Thank you to Martin and Mars, our amazing moderators and producers. Thank you for dealing with me for the last 2 hours. Thank you. I know my mouse got invisible. Okay, so now I know what it is. I've clicked off of the game. See, look, there's my mouse. Whoa. I've clicked off of the game to go back to OBS because guess what? I'm ending the show. Neighbors, I'm ending the show. Show's about to end. Thank you so much for joining us on Weekly Patronage. This show will be back in 2022. So you got next week off, but there's other shows going on this week. Definitely stick around. Definitely follow us on social medias. Definitely have a good day, and we'll see you next encounter. Bye.